When I signed my publishing deal, I had $1,000 in the bank. I lived in the hood. I was surviving off music. All of a sudden, a publisher says, "Yo, we'll sign you. We'll give you a six-figure deal for your publishing." I highly recommend and highly advise nobody sign to a major and do a co-pub deal.
Let's rewind it. A lot of people watching this probably don't even know what a co-pub deal is and how they would get one.
Co-pub deals don't grow on trees. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get hot. You gotta have some kind of buzz, some kind of situation. They used to sign acts and artists and producers and writers just off the strength of talent. Like, yo, this guy makes fire. Sign him. But now they sign based off numbers, because through the early mid 2000s they were doing $500,000, $800,000 pub deals, and they saw that they weren't coming up from it. Maybe if that guy came up with a hit, they would break even, but they weren't coming up. Some of these publishers were taking L's. So what it is basically is you get into a co-pub deal from the interest of a record you produced, you wrote, or you sang on or rapped on. So basically, like, that shit gets you hot, and all of a sudden, like, these publishers, all of them, they go and see, like, if you're on the charts, if you're on Billboard charts, if you're charting, if you're a chart topper, whatever the fuck you're doing, these publishers are looking and checking and seeing who's the writers, who's involved in the song, are they in a pub deal? It's all very easy to look up. As soon as they figure out, like, yo, this guy's available, this guy's free, this guy's not in a pub deal, boom, that's the guy that they go after. They start to work and see if they can sign up. A co-publishing deal is a deal that usually comes with a decent size advance, if not a bigger advance than normal. It's a 50-50 share or split on your publishing. You know what I'm saying? So any publishing share that you get, it's 50-50 split. Now, if you're advanced $100,000, $200,000, $300,000, your half that you get goes towards recoupment. So you're not going to see any money from any music you make until you pay back your advance. So for the most part, that's the co-pub deal. And depending on how good your lawyer is how little you'll be raped. But no matter what, you're going to get raped. So
basically, in a nutshell, it's like a record deal, but for your publishing share of music that you've created.
That's the best way to put it. That's the best way to put it.
And we're seeing so many people already, coming out of the woodworks talking about how miserable they are in their record deals. I might have to do that pretty soon myself. Yeah. But, I guess that's a good parallel because a lot of people are frustrated with their publishing deals.
Yeah, man. I mean, Now the situation that I'm in, it's a big difference. Like you really see the difference in the money that's earned and the money that's generated.
So what's the benefit theoretically? What would the benefit be to sign a publishing deal as a producer?
Well, when I signed my publishing deal, I had $1,000 in the bank. I was broke as fuck. I lived in the hood. All I did was make music. I was surviving off music. And all of a sudden, a publisher says, "Yo, we'll sign you. We'll give you a six-figure deal for your publishing." Here I am, in my early 20s, like, yo, 6 figures. I got $1,000 in the bank. Like, I could get this check within 3 weeks if I negotiate and sign this deal. I don't blame people who get into it, but just know what you're getting into. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did it myself. I was in that deal for 8 years and had to fight. And you got to think, like, 8 years, the amount of money that my catalog generated was way more than that 6 figures. You know what I'm saying?
So, and you didn't see a
cent
past recouping, I guess.
You don't see it, and plus, not to mention, like, they're not trying to show you. It's very dishonest. Like, you just gotta understand that, like, when you're doing music and you're dealing with big corporate companies, like, they're trying to get the come up. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, what you get is a come up too. They're getting the bigger come up, bottom line. But being independent, you'll realize that you can get the come up too.
Yeah, so let's talk about that. So,
So,
so you're talking
and
about admin deals now being a much better situation than a.
admin deals, like when you get into an admin deal, all your publishing is your publishing. You got 50% of the song, all 50% is yours. What happens is in an admin deal, your administrator organizes, license, collects all of your money that's out there. All right, and all your music. They keep your catalog super tight. Make sure that it's worldwide registered, and you got everything set up right to get this money. And then they go and collect it. And when they collect it, normal admin fees are anywhere from 10 to 20%, depending on who you are, what you negotiated, what your situation is. Some of them even go below 10%. If you could get below 10%, more power to you. That means, like, say you get the deal to 8% admin, 92% you. That means every time you get publishing, you're going to get the bulk of that money. I'm going to tell listeners this. There's nothing wrong with paying people who worked for you. There's nothing wrong with paying somebody 10% who plays something for you. 10% for somebody who collects for you. 10% for somebody who got a check for you, because it is hard work to get that money. So let's not get that twisted. 10%, even 20% is a small price to pay over 50% and a bunch of hidden fees.
What admin company are you with right now? Just so that people know about independent admin companies.
Well, right now I'm with Cobalt, but there's so many. Once I started searching, and once I got on the market, there's so many companies that's out there that you can you can really pick and choose. Of course, they gotta be interested in you too. Like, they don't want an admin air. They want a producer or a writer that's active. They want somebody who can constantly bring in an income, because they're gonna be putting in work, registering your music, licensing your music. They want to see you active. Now, there are some administrators out there that are super independent, that all you gotta have is a placement, and they're gonna snatch you up, and they're just hungry and they want to work, and they've been successful. I know another one out there, Shelly Bay Music. If you got heat that's plays, that's being licensed right now, she's got a good company that admins some great talent, and she does a really good job of collecting. And then there's other publishing houses out there that just offer admin deals, and that's the difference. You know what I'm saying? Even a lot of these majors are leaning more towards admin deals. You can still get an advance and be in an admin deal. Just know that you have to pay the advance back. It's still way different because you're not in a co-pub deal. So you just pay the advance back, but there's no interest, and if you turn in 50% of music, that's still your 50% of music. You know what I'm saying?